two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title?
It has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
I like Pacquiao trying to hit a lick, I mean, but Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao's surprising comeback to the ring against Mario Barrios has stirred excitement across the boxing scene. Promoter Eddie Hearn acknowledged Pacquiao's legendary prowess, noting that he's still capable of defeating fighters, ranked in the top 20. However, Hearn also raised concerns about Pacquiao's long layoff and age, warning that the 45-year-old icon may struggle to compete at the world-class level he once dominated. Reactions among fans are mixed. Some are thrilled to see the icon return.
It's a very contentious subject, like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. My problem is that he's been inactive for quite a long time. Like, we were talking about fighting him with Conor Benn maybe 6 months ago or a year, and every month or 3 months or 6 months that passes, you do become a lot older. So, I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why not? But should he be fighting for the world title? I guess that's another question. In the commercial world of boxing, the answer is yeah, probably. In the ratings world and activity world, the answer is probably not.
Do you think it's strange that he's coming off the couch and getting a title fight like that?
I think when you've achieved what he's achieved, you've always got the right to do things a little bit differently to others. And with all due respect, Barrios is not Boots, and Barrios is not Crawford. And that's why we pushed the Conor Benn fight. Conor Benn, his best win is against Algieri or Van Heerden. So actually, Pacquiao is a step up. And people were still complaining at me for mentioning that fight, like Conor Benn is Boots. But he still hasn't had those wins yet.
On the world stunned. After retiring in 2021 following his loss to Yordenis Ugas, the 46-year-old legend is now set to face Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title this July. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman confirmed the fight, highlighting Pacquiao's lasting legacy and his goal to retire on a high note. Despite doubts about his age and recent inactivity, Pacquiao is determined and confident, aiming to make history once
again. In a world title fight against the WBC welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Date yet to be confirmed, venue yet to be confirmed, but it looks like it will be in July and in Las Vegas. Massive news announced yesterday by the WBC president, and it was so out of left field. Pacquiao hasn't fought professionally since 2021. That was 4 years ago. He was 41 at the time, and of course he lost to Yordenis Ugas, the very, very tricky Cuban fighter. Convincingly lost to Yordenis Ugas. And
trainer Greg Hackett didn't hold back when sharing his opinion on Manny Pacquiao's unexpected return against Mario Barrios. Speaking bluntly, Hackett stated that if this bout had taken place years ago, Pacquiao would have comfortably defeated Barrios. But now, things are different. Hackett stressed that today's Pacquiao is far from the dynamic force fans once admired. At 45, the Filipino great likely lacks the speed, stamina, and killer instinct he was once known for. Hackett labeled the Yada match a money-making event rather than a real clash between prime athletes, calling it more of a show than a serious competition.
Trying to hit a lick, but Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might run and beat Pacquiao up. Not knock him out, but beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to Ugas, the Ugas fight?
It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so why not? If he can make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like this. And that's a fight you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money and you want to do great things, but not so great where I get in there with a guy that'll kill me right now. You know what I'm saying? So all right, I'll back you out. He damn near 50 years old. I'll fight him. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So these dudes different anyway. They different. If I was Barrios, I wouldn't entertain Pacquiao. I'd be on that hunt for the rest of them straps.
Former champion Tim Bradley shared similar concerns, suggesting the fight is driven more by financial interest than sporting ambition. According to Bradley, when a fighter returns from retirement, it usually indicates a need for money. While the WBC title is technically on the line, he believes the real motivation lies in the hefty paycheck. Barrios, younger and currently active, is being presented as the new face to push Pacquiao's limits. Bradley even argued that Barrios has the youth, energy, and skills to possibly stop Pacquiao, raising the question of whether the legend should be stepping back into the ring at all.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two. I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well. Can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios.
Unlike the doubters, Mario Barrios remains composed and confident. Speaking before the bout, Barrios made it clear that while he respects Pacquiao's legacy, he is not overwhelmed by it. He plans to stick firmly to his strategy, using his youth, and reach to apply consistent pressure. For Barrios, this isn't just about the money. It's the biggest moment of his professional life and a chance to add a legend's name to his record.
You see the Manny Pacquiao fight. What can you learn from that fight?
You know, it showed that, you know, combination punchers, you know, that's how Pacquiao, you know, was landing, you know, his punches, combinations. And, you know, it just showed you that, you know, he is a great fighter, but, you know, I'm going into this camp, coming into this fight confident, everything right with our game plan. And I'm going to try to execute it as best as I can.
News of Pacquiao's return sent shockwaves through the global boxing community. Many fans are still processing the announcement, as Pacquiao officially stepped away from the sport in 2021 and hasn't fought since. Mauricio Sulaiman, president of the WBC, confirmed that all official approvals have been granted for Pacquiao to compete for the welterweight crown once again.
WBC president Mauricio Sulaiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09, Ricky Hatton, all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list, you know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, who's the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about it.
One of the most powerful aspects of this return is that Pacquiao is competing for the same WBC title that began his rise to worldwide fame. His first championship came at flyweight, and now he looks to conclude his legendary career as the WBC welterweight champion. This full-circle moment is deeply meaningful for Pacquiao, driven not only by legacy but also by personal nostalgia. Many speculate that the Barrios fight is only a setup, with rumors swirling that a victory could lead to a blockbuster showdown against Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Fans and analysts alike are questioning whether Barrios was selected strategically as a winnable opponent to build momentum for one final mega fight.
Basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo fight.
If Pacquiao manages to defeat Barrios, a showdown with Gervonta Davis could become one of the most anticipated fights in recent memory. 2 explosive southpaws, each backed by massive global fan bases, facing off would undoubtedly capture worldwide attention.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight, all right? He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year, so he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who they know.
Despite his age and long absence from the ring, many believe Pacquiao still has the ability to overcome Barrios. His legendary record, achievements, and impact on the sport have led some to call him the greatest of all time. Pacquiao has defeated a long list of boxing greats and claimed titles in 8 different weight divisions. A win here could silence his critics and remind the world why he remains an all-time icon. However, not everyone is thrilled. Comparisons to Floyd Mayweather's recent exhibition bouts are frequent, with critics arguing that this feels less like a legacy-defining moment and more like an aging legend chasing a final payday. Many within the boxing world are skeptical, viewing this event as more of a glorified exhibition than a true championship bout.
Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios? Okay, if this was for a massive bag, I get it. But you're fighting for a non-pay-per-view event, so you're going to be fighting for free against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. Why? There are plenty of other fights to be making. But yet we're getting Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios. Is Manny Pacquiao even ready to fight in the ring? Why is he? I get he still loves the sport, but listen, you are an all-time great, a legend of the sport, a Hall of Famer. Why return? Why not just go pursue other things? If anything, do those little cheap expedition fights that you did last year, or those that are similar to that of what Floyd Mayweather keeps doing. Why is Manny Pacquiao doing a real legitimate fight? I get for its world championship, but against Mario Barrios. Why is Mario Barrios agreeing to this? Unless there is some astronomically large amount of money being given out for this fight makes no sense for either party. And I'm sick of having this welterweight division held up by dumb stuff like this. We don't want this fight. It makes absolutely no sense. And all it does is hold up the welterweight division a little bit longer.
A growing segment of fans has shown little to no enthusiasm for this matchup. Their concern isn't just with the nature of the fight itself, but also with Pacquiao's age. At nearly 46, his reflexes, stamina, and durability are expected to be a shadow of their former selves. Many fans have voiced that they'd rather not watch another aging legend participate in what feels like a half-hearted contest.
This is a fight that, is almost finalized from per 210 Boxing TV from Instagram. He says, shocking news, Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is a done deal for the summer. The date either would be July 19th or 26th on Amazon Prime, and the fight probably won't be on pay-per-view. And the location, Las Vegas or San Antonio. So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, there's 210 Boxing is reporting that this fight is a done deal. I'm not going to believe it 100% until I see PBC announce it and everything per se. But I mean, this is a fight that has been in talks from a lot of people, from that side, saying that Mario Barrios and Manny Pacquiao have been negotiating the fight and everything. And I'm gonna just be real, honestly, man. I don't care for this fight because I don't care to see Manny Pacquiao back fighting again in the ring. Like it serves no justice seeing Manny Pacquiao after we just seen him fight in the exhibition and was not looking good at all in this exhibition. Like, he did not look good in the exhibition fight at all. So I really don't want to see Manny Pacquiao fight Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios, I mean, he gets a big payday and he gets to put a legend on his resume. And I think Mario Barrios would definitely win this fight because I just don't think Manny Pacquiao has any gas left in the tank to fight, at an elite level.
This seems to be an emerging trend in boxing. Legendary fighters returning from retirement for lucrative paydays. Floyd Mayweather did it. Mike Tyson did it. And now, Pacquiao joins that list. Fans are becoming increasingly frustrated with what they see as a pattern of retired icons chasing money rather than protecting their legacies. Many have already dismissed this fight as predictable and unnecessary. With younger, hungrier fighters like Barrios in the spotlight, the mystique of Pacquiao still lives on in the hearts of his fans. But there's a growing fear that these comeback fights could tarnish the good memories he's left behind.